What is going on, guys? It's Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the best build for Theoden in Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, before I get into the video, I just want to do a quick disclaimer, and that is, for everyone watching this commander build guide for Theoden, I'm assuming that you guys do have him at level 50 and at least at respect level 5. So that will give you 55 skill points, and obviously if you have him at max imparted wisdom, those extra 4 skill points would definitely be helpful, but if not, you need to have a minimum of at least 55 skill points for these builds. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so with all these build guide videos, the first thing we look at is army comp. So if we go over to Theoden and we have a look at his army comp that I have on him. So right now I'm basically going to have 3 different units on him. I'm going to have some Ram Riders, I'm going to have some Cataphracts, and I'm going to have some Cavaliers. So your Ram Riders are here to basically just lower enemy defense with this on hit enemy target defense minus 50% for 1 round. Your Cataphracts are just here as a tank because damage received from enemy melee units is minus I think 15% at max, and they also have damage received minus 10% over there. And your Cavaliers are your main damage dealers because they have that first one instance of damage dealt in battle plus 50%. So for those of you guys who are not playing Rohan or another faction that has tier 4 cav, for example, I think Gondor has Swan Knights, this is going to be the loadout you want to go for. You're going to go for Ram Riders, Cataphracts and Cavaliers, though you can swap one out and swap Bow Knights in if that is something you do want to try out. It does depend on you as well, but I would recommend either going build like this, so Ram Riders, Cataphracts, Cavaliers, or something like Cataphracts, Cavaliers and Bow Knights. And the reason I say Cataphracts, Cavaliers is because of it's just Ram Riders, they're decent, they lower defense for 1 round, but they're overall I don't really see them doing that good. But Bow Knights, they're pretty helpful against large units and stuff, so it could be something you want to swap in. Though obviously if you're playing Rohan, then instead of using Cavaliers you will use Marshals, or if you're playing on mixed servers then you would throw in some really good tier 4, like if you're playing Angmar they have really good mounted T4, or if you're playing Gondor they have the Swan Knights, etc. All in all, basically you're just going to want a full mounted build. What that is up to you and what gear you're using, though I mean that really doesn't matter as much, but you're going to want full mounted, whether it's all melee, whether you want to swap in Bow Knights or whatever. Anyway, on to the next part of the video, and this is going to be gear, and this is probably one of the most important aspects of this build. So gear wise, I have nothing, and the reason for that is I just don't have the gear to put on him. But the gear that is going to go on him is the gear I have on my Eowyn, and that's because the gear on Eowyn will work for Theoden as well. So the gear I'm going to be using on my Theoden is this Cutlass, which has might, speed and army attack. It does have flay, which is not really that great. For this, you probably want something that gives you like your mounted units damage received or something like that, But this is the weapon of choice I'm going to be going with, which is a Cutlass. Obviously, if you have something like a Riddermark Spear, I believe it's called, the legendary weapon, the big Rohan spear thing, you can stick that on him as well. But for those of you guys that don't have that, then something like a Cutlass will work well. Or if you don't even have this and you're just putting blue gear, then obviously something that gives him might and speed if possible. As for his chest piece, I'm going to be sticking the Scout's Mail from Eowyn and putting it onto Theoden, and this is because it just gives Commander Might and Commander Speed, which is perfect because those are the 2 most important things you need to upgrade on your commander, especially though because some of his skills have effect modified by speed, and obviously speed allows him to act earlier in battle, and might allows him to deal more damage and allows your units to also deal more damage. In terms of helmet, Horseman's Helm is pretty much one of the best helmets you can get for mounted units, and mounted commanders. So I'm going to be moving this from my Eowyn over to my Theoden. It gives Commander Might plus 24, Commander Speed plus 24, and it gives Army Defense to mounted units plus 15, and I have it with Mounted Vigor, which allied mounted units damage received minus 1%, which can go up to minus 5% I believe, if I refine it fully. So yeah, as for your your accessory, well, it depends on what you have. I find that I don't really ever have great accessories or anything, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be taking off this worn out smoking pipe, and I'm going to be sticking it onto Theoden with sustain, and every 2 rounds all allies will recover 25.3% HP, effect modified by focus stat. So while nothing really that great, it's gonna, you know, help him recover some more health for his units, which will help my army survive a bit longer. But you guys can put like something like hit lane, or, you know, any other accessory that you have that will work better. So yeah, that's gonna be the gear build. So cutlass, because, you know, might and speed, scout's mail, might and speed, and horseman's helm, might and speed, army defense mounted units, and even legendary helms. There's not very many that will actually be better than this on a mounted commander. This is a really great helmet. Accessory, obviously whatever you have that will work on him, just stick it on him. Okay, now onto his skill build. Okay, and just before we get into that, I just want to say I don't have him at level 50, but I'm still going to be giving you a build that works with him at level 50 and works pretty well. And I'm probably going to be giving you 2 builds just depending. So yeah, his leader trait, it obviously just gives you more command, so you can stick more units onto him, but it doesn't give you any actual skill points or anything like that. So onto his skill build. So this is the first skill build, and this is a very general build, so you can use this in pretty much whenever you're fighting, no matter who you're fighting. You know, it should work pretty great. And oh wait, I have 5 extra skill points. Let's just dump this in here because, you know, why not? And let's dump some in there. Perfect. So the first thing you're going to upgrade is Horsemaster. Okay, Horsemaster is absolutely god tier. There's no build on Theoden that will not have this on. Okay, there's literally no build on Theoden without this. And the reason for this is maxed out, it gives army mounted units attack plus 15. That is 15 extra attack to all your mounted units, and at max level also gives your mounted units plus 5 HP. So this is going to be 15 skill points and is one of the most important skills in this build. Next up, you're going to go with Arid Leader, and that is every round mounted units have a 75% chance of recovering 45% HP, which is 15% more than Eowyn. However, its max level effect guarantees you that each round you will recover HP rather than having a 75% chance of doing so. But unlike Eowyn's recover HP every round, this does not grant you stun immunity, so you would need something like a helmet with stun immunity or another piece of gear that gives you that instead. So that will be another 15 points to max out Arid Leader. So that's 15 on Horsemaster, 15 on Arid Leader, that is 30 points. Your next 15 will go into Rohirrim, and that's just because any mounted commander has to have this maxed out. It's just such a powerful skill, and max, I think it gives you plus 9.6% damage upon inflicting damage, and obviously that effect is modified by your speed stat up to 3 stats. And max level, it gives you plus 15 might, so, you know, extra might, that's great. So yeah, that's going to be the 3 major skills. So 15 points in Horsemaster, 15 points in Arid Leader, and 15 points in Rohirrim for a total of 45 points. You will still have another 10 points, and those 10 points are going to go into, well, there we go, Chaotic Retreat. Enemy units defense minus 35 when it's maxed out at 7 out of 7. And that's just going to apply a flat minus 35 defense to any enemy unit. So if your enemy units have 100 defense now, well, they have 65 defense. So it's pretty great. It costs 7 points, and you're going to have another 3 points, though if you have him at maxed out Imparted Wisdom, you will have another 4. That other 4 plus the 3 points left will give you 7, and with that you can then go and max out Riding Excellence. Riding Excellence, mounted units, damage received minus 14% at max, and that just allows your army to take less damage and survive longer. For those of you guys that do not have 4 points from maxing out his Imparted Wisdom, you'll just put 3 points into Riding Excellence, or you could put 2 points into Riding Excellence and 1 point into Vow Protection, just so that your commander gains initiative during combat, which allows him to act first each round. If you do have him at, say, respect level 6, and you have the maxed out Imparted Wisdom, then you can put all 7 points into Riding Excellence, and with the extra point you can put it into Vow Protection, just to allow him to have the initiative during combat to act first. He's not going to deal that much damage, but still, hey, it's 1 point, you gain initiative, so why not? Anyway, this was the first build for Theoden. The second build is a more it's a build meant for clearing debuffs, especially if you're going up against something that like inflicts poison damage continuous, or focus damage, or burn damage continuous, then this build will help you out a lot more, because it's gonna, you know, clear those debuffs for you. So what you're gonna do is, just like the previous build, 15 points in Horsemaster, because there's no reason not to do that. It's an amazing skill, it's worth it completely, so you're going to stick 15 points into there. Then you're going to put 15 points into Rohirrim and 15 points into Arid Leader. That is going to be 45 skill points already gone, and now you're going to have 10 skill points left, and those 10 skill points are going to go into the Renewed. So this will give commander and allied units a percentage chance of removing one random debuff, and that activates every second round, and the chance of it activating will be higher with the higher level you have the skill. Obviously, with only having 10 extra skill points, you're gonna only get this to 10 out of 15, so you're not gonna be able to max it out. However, for those players that do have him maxed out on Imparted Wisdom, you're gonna have another 4 skill points which you're gonna be able to put into this, and that's gonna get you to 14 out of 15. If you do have him at Respect level 6 on top of that, you will be able to then max this out, and you will have it maxed out, which means you'll be able to clear debuffs no matter what when you're fighting against poison, focus, or burn damage, or anything that just, you know, has a continuous effect that just hits you every round. You'll be able to clear all those debuffs and get rid of them. So this build will take you a little bit over budget, as it's going to cost you 15, 30, 45, 60 skill points, and with Theoden at level 50 and R5, you only get 55 skill points. Those extra 5 skill points, 4 will have to come from imparting wisdom on him and maxing that out, and the last skill point will have to come from having him at R6, or if you just have him at R10 for some reason, you know, that works as well, and you can max out the Renewed title. But if not, then it's fine. You'll max out this, you'll max out this, you'll max out this, and by this I mean Horsemaster, Arid Leader, and Rohirrim, and you'll put your remaining skill points into the Renewed. It won't give you that 100% chance of removing one random debuff, but it will be a pretty high chance of removing one random debuff at least. So yeah, that's going to be your build if you're fighting against stuff that inflicts focus or burn or poison damage continuously. So yeah, that's going to be the build for Theoden, and we're going to just do a quick recap now. So army wise, if you look at your Theoden and we go over here, you got to give him an army of rams, an army of cattas, and an army of cavaliers. This is if you're playing outside of Rohan or outside of Gondor or another faction that has a tier 4 mounted unit. However, if you do get Bree Riders, then I would swap out probably the Ram Riders or the Cataphracts and stick in some Bree Riders, because the Bree Riders are absolutely amazing. So if you do have Bree Riders, make sure you do include them in this build, because they will work out really well. They synergize extremely well, and they'll just allow your Theoden to perform that much better. If you are in Lothlorien, or if you just want to add Bow Knights because you're versing a lot of trolls or large units, you could take out your Cataphracts or your Ram Raiders and put some Bow Knights in there instead. It's up to you, but that's basically going to be your army. In terms of equipment, you're going to want to have something like a Cutlass, which gives might and speed. You're going to want to have something like Scout's Mail, which gives might and speed, and a Horseman's Helm, which is a really great helmet, which also gives might and speed. Accessory wise, I'm just going to be sticking my Worn Out Smoking Pipe pretty much, because that's the only thing I really have that could go on him. Though you could obviously put on Hit Lane or any other accessory you have that works. Skill wise, for the first skill build, and that is the wrong commander, for the first skill build, you're going to max out Horsemaster, you're going to max out Arid Leader, you're going to max out Rohirrim, you're going to max out Chaotic Retreat, and you're going to put your remaining skill points into Riding Excellence. If you have him at maxed out Imparted Wisdom and R6, then you're going to max out Riding Excellence and put 1 point into Vow of Protection. If you only have him R5 but you do have his Imparted Wisdom maxed out, then you will max out both Chaotic Retreat and Riding Excellence, as that will give you just enough points to have all of these 3 main titles plus both these side parts maxed out. For the second build, you're going to have Horsemaster, Arid Leader, and Rohirrim all maxed out for 45 points, and your last 10 points are going to go into the Renewed. If you do have him at maxed out Imparted Wisdom, you're going to put those extra 4 points into the Renewed, and if you have him at R6, that extra point into the Renewed as well, which will max it out at 15 out of 15. So that is going to be your build for Theoden. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.